Was Bathsheba a victim of David's or adulterer with him? You might think you know the story of David and Bathsheba, but if you've never heard of the revenge narrative that follows it, well, in the words of Derek Minor,
I'm about to open up your mind.
You see, there's this guy you need to know about, Ahithophel. You've probably never heard of him before. He's not mentioned directly in the chapters about David and Bathsheba's encounter, but I think he and his story is the linchpin to answering this question. Between Nathan's parable and Ahithophel's counsel, it's case closed. Let me explain. Point number 1. After David sinned, the prophet Nathan confronts him with a parable. Nathan tells David a story about a man who had a lamb that he loved dearly. Another man comes along and takes this lamb from him. And does that thief then love and treasure that little lamb? No, he has a guest come and he takes the lamb, slaughters it, and feeds it to his guest. The thief sacrifices that lamb for reasons of appetite and convenience. So in that parable, is the lamb a willing participant in the sins of the thief, or is it a victim? I think it's pretty clear, and that lamb represents Bathsheba. So at the least, Bathsheba is a victim of a man's greed and appetite. But some, like the writer of this Got Questions piece, still want to make some weird gray category of like, well, you know, Bathsheba was taken advantage of, but it wasn't rape. I don't know why, but that's where Ahithophel's story comes in. That puts this to rest. So who is that guy? We gotta go faster, so pay attention. Ahithophel was one of King David's wisest advisors. His son was Eliam, who was one of David's mighty men, alongside Uriah, by the way. Eliam had a daughter whose name was Bathsheba. So Bathsheba is Ahithophel's granddaughter. Now on the other side over here, we have Absalom, who is David's son. And in 2 Samuel 15, sometime after everything that happened between David and Bathsheba, Absalom rebels. And Ahithophel, who has been King David's advisor, decides, hey, you know what? I'm going to pair up with Absalom and be his advisor now. And what he advises him to do is dastardly and evil. Basically, King David flees the city, and Ahithophel says, hey, all the concubines, all the basically wives of lesser status, all of them that your father left here to take care of the palace, and instead, take them all up to the roof in the sight of all of Israel and take them by force. This is Ahithophel's vengeance. What he feels David did to his granddaughter in private, he's having David's own son do to him in public, in the sight of everyone. This exact evil was prophesied by the prophet Nathan in 2 Samuel 12 when he confronted David. Now, no one would hesitate to label what's done to David's concubines as rape. And if that is a mirror of what was done to Bathsheba, well then, was she some seductress as Hollywood and many a Bible study has portrayed? Or was she a victim of David's sexual assault? P.S. This isn't just some story, this really matters. What the church says about Bathsheba will be reflected in how it treats women who are victims and how it excuses abusers and all of that today too. It really does matter that we get this right.